What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another game collection video. This time I'll be taking a look at my SEGA Genesis games. If there's a game system you would like to see next, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to do that one next. But let's take a look at my SEGA Genesis games. We'll start with the boxed games. Alright, we'll start off with my boxed SEGA Genesis games. Now the nice thing about collecting SEGA Genesis games is that the games came in hard plastic clamshell cases when they were new. So a lot of people had the foresight to keep their Genesis boxes, unlike their SNES boxes or their NES boxes or even their N64 boxes. So you can find Genesis games in their boxes fairly easily, which makes the collection a lot nicer. So I have quite a few boxed Genesis games. I've already passed up quite a few here in the video. Few decent games. We've got the Mortal Kombat trilogy here. I have Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, but that's loose, so you'll see that later on. Zero Tolerance is kind of like a weird first-person shooter, kind of like Doom, and you just seen Aladdin. I prefer the SEGA Genesis Aladdin over the SNES Aladdin. Not sure if that's the normal consensus or if that's just me, but I prefer the Genesis version over the SNES version. And I actually grew up playing the SEGA Genesis a whole lot more than I did the SNES. Played a lot of Sonic 2, played a lot of Fatal Labyrinth, for instance. That game, nobody mentions that game. Nobody even knows about it when I mention it, and it is excellent. It's a cool, like, dungeon crawling, randomly generating game where basically your only goal is to get floor to floor and try to escape this dungeon, this labyrinth. And as you play, you level up, you find new items to get stronger, and it's really good. There's a Game Gear game similar to it, and they're both great. So if you're collecting for the SEGA Genesis or just looking for a new game to play, check out Fatal Labyrinth. Six-pack is, if you're just getting into collecting, get the six-pack, get 6 great games. Pretty sure Streets of Rage is in there. You just saw Streets of Rage 1 and 2. And Streets of Rage alone is worth picking up the 6-pack. Power Rangers, it's a decent fighting game. If I remember right, it's the very first game I ever beat growing up, and so it holds a special place in my heart. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Now that's a game, out of all these games, that's probably the game I return to the most, because almost every time my cousin Adam comes over, we have to play Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Anytime we do a Halloween video or Halloween series or live stream, we have to play Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And it just passed up, I didn't mention it, but Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist. I have that boxed, which is actually a fairly rare and hard to find game in the box, or in general. And for me, I prefer that over Turtles in Time. I don't know if that's the usual. I think I'm the only person that would ever say that, honestly. But Hyperstone Heist, I like the graphic style and I like how fast it is. So I prefer it over Turtles in Time. And there's my Shaq Fu, still in the box, still not destroyed. Skitchin is kind of an interesting game. I don't know why it's rated mature. It's kind of like a, it's a racing game where you're on skateboards. You grab on you're on rollerblades, excuse me. You grab on the back of cars and use those to boost to other cars, and you can punch your opponents, but I don't know why that's rated mature. It's still fun, and my Bram Stoker's Dracula is sealed, and I have an extra copy that is not sealed, because that's another one of my cousin's favorite games. Barbie Supermodel, sealed. That's the jewel of my collection right there. Now there's a lot of sports games on the SEGA Genesis, because I guess the SEGA Genesis was more targeted towards adults, but the NHL games that you're seeing right here, those are excellent. Those are worth picking up. I don't watch sports, I don't play sports, I don't care for sports, I don't play sports games, but those NHL games are excellent. They're just fun. They're worth checking out for sure. Like I said, a lot of sports games. Super Baseball 2020. The main menu of that game makes me want to hurl. The background like spins. We did a video on it a long time ago. I'm not sure if it's even on our channel anymore. But oh my god, the main menu of that game makes me want to vomit. It gives me motion sickness so bad. Earthworm Jim, great game. Jurassic Park's not bad. And Castle of Illusion is excellent. X-Men, excellent. Got some decent games right here in a big chunk. Beavis and Butthead I've always liked, but it's super hard. I can never get anywhere in that game. But all of those games you should check out. The Lion King is one of my proudest moments because I've actually beaten that game, and I don't think I've ever met anyone else that's beaten that game. It's super hard, but I spent a good month playing that game trying to beat it, and eventually I did, and it was really satisfying. Saturday Night Slam Master's really cool fighting game. It's got a wrestling aesthetic to it, made by Capcom, so you know it's good. Now we're into my loose games. Nothing too great to start out with, except X-Men 2, and Valis isn't bad either, but Sonic 3D Blast is garbage. Super Smash TV, another one of my favorite games on the system. I like that game anywhere, whether it's arcade, SNES, or Genesis, but I played the Genesis version more, and it plays really well for a twin stick shooter. Gargoyles, oh my god, that game is impossible. I've been playing it since I was a kid. I can't get anywhere in that game. It is so damn hard. The first like 4 levels are not the worst, but once you get to this part where you gotta climb up these walls of a castle while shit's getting shot at you, it's fucking impossible. I've never gotten anywhere in that game, and I don't think I ever will. Rampage Edition, Jurassic Park, is better than the other Jurassic Park games. So if you're gonna play one, if you can only play one, play Rampage. And the Ooze. The Ooze is a really weird game that nobody talks about. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it came out late in the life of the SEGA Genesis, so maybe nobody really played it. It's kind of a cool puzzle game, I guess. You move around as Ooze and you gotta not die and stuff. It's hard to explain because it's really weird, but it's definitely worth checking out if you are into the SEGA Genesis. It's hard, but it's worth checking out. Batman, really similar to the NES version, but nowhere near as good. So if you're gonna play one, play the NES version. Earthworm Jim 2, I mentioned Earthworm Jim earlier. More of the same, still great. Gunstar Heroes. If you're gonna play the SEGA Genesis, if you're gonna collect for the SEGA Genesis, get Gunstar Heroes. A lot of fun, great multiplayer game. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't before. So, Gunstar Heroes, one of the best on the system. Vectorman 2, both the Vectorman games. I have the first one in the box. Both of them are excellent, worth checking out. Battletoads. I mentioned this in my Game Boy. Oh, Comix Zone. Before I get on to Battletoads. Oh, and Batman and Robin. Oh, and Castlevania Bloodlines. Oh, and Streets of Rage 2. Oh, bunch of good games right there in a block. Castlevania being the best of the bunch. But all those games, I don't even remember what I was going to say about them. But you should check them out. And there was Mutant League Football. The Mutant League games are great. They're kind of hard to find. Mine is a little beat up, but check those out. I still need Mutant League Hockey, so I'm on the lookout for that one. Alright, we're getting towards the end of my Genesis collection. We got a couple Game Genies there and Sonic and Knuckles. And my last game is Virtual Racing, which is a weird giant kart. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. Let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite Genesis games. And let me know what collection you'd like to see next. I collect for pretty much every game system out there. So if there's a specific one you would like to see my games for and my opinions on, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to do that one next. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you later.